Mild butter chicken and a cheese and garlic naan. It's a staple for many families on takeaway night, when mum and dad might be too busy to cook. Just like a curry is a blend of rich spices and flavours, so too is our country. Hard-working people who want to contribute to the rich blend of Australia's recipe. Hidden in the streets of Rosalie, I caught up with some of those people trying to share their contribution and build community.
Hi, Divya, nice to meet you.
Natasha, nice to meet you.
George.
G'day George, good to meet you too. I did 2 floods here, helped clean out
This street
floods
flood?
through here, yeah. And I opened the Baskin and Robbins.
Oh,
Claim to fame.
Great work.
Nice.
Great work. Important work.
Let's do it. Tell me, what is the Brown Girl Collective?
it was born out of my own experiences of growing up in Australia. And, you know, growing up, I had this sense of feeling that I was too brown for the white kids and too white for the brown kids. And I say that a lot because I think it's something that's quite universal for a lot of immigrants or children of immigrants.
Tell me about the food.
And this is like iconic if you've never tried this.
I've tried
yeah,
these.
okay. okay.
This is a staple, I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does a really-
I love the ritual of it. You're like, you know, when you pour everything and you're like, kind of don't want to eat it because
I wouldn't say I've got the hang of it though, so
practice makes perfect.
So what sort of things do you get up to?
We do lots of different things. So we just recently talking about how we've started up our hike club.
Okay.
So we're doing monthly hikes. So
That's cool.
around Brisbane and the Gold Coast, getting people out and
Yep.
active. So similar to run clubs, but
Yep.
a little bit different, a little bit slower, a little bit more focused
Yep.
on connection rather than
Nature?
nature,
Yeah.
which I think is really special. And we're so blessed to
We
live
are.
in Queensland, you know, and we have so much to offer. So we're doing that. We do a lot of potluck picnics. So that's
Okay.
sort of our base event that we do.
I know some of the comments sometimes say an exclusive group. What would you say to them?
I guess like what we always say when we created this as well is that we're not actively excluding anyone.
Yeah.
It's not saying that if you don't fit this cohort, you cannot attend.
We talked about it all the time, like when Aussies go to London, they meet up with other Aussies, like
Yeah.
that's just what they do. And it's, I think you find a sense of community and comfort in people that you can relate to.
Divya, do you want to quickly just talk about how you got involved? Like, kind of like, were you there from the start? Did you
No,
join?
I really forced my way into so I lived in Melbourne and then I came back last year to Brisbane. I'm off the grid, like I'm not on Instagram or that sort of stuff, so I was just typing in words and I was like, brown girls, like just seeing what the consensus was, like what's going on in the community. And I was telling Natasha about this. Our parents are really good at this, like the community thing, they're really on it. And I was like, our parents are so good at it. Like the older generation, they just, we were talking about this as well, it's like the village thing, like they know how to be in this village and they know how to like connect with everybody no matter what, like who's in need, who needs help, what's happening. They're very quick on it. And then last year I went to a few of Natasha's events and I was like, this is so fun, like this is so good, I'd love to help. And then I just messaged her.
Do you have any advice for Australians who might have a migrant neighbour or work with people from other countries, how they can make them feel welcome?
It really comes down to just openness to like communication, and curiosity is like the perfect place to start. Someone that is different to you, or you just notice something about them and you want, in your head you always have the question of like, oh, I wonder what they're doing, or I wonder where they're from. You never ask, even though like why not? And having that, just having that extra step to go, oh, I'll just ask. And I think that is that's where that's the first step, and then conversation rolls from there.
So food seems to be a big part of how you bring a community together. What's the best dish you've had?
so
What should
hard.
everyone try?
It's a tough one, but I feel like the simpler the better. When you get older, I think the simple food you love, like before you'd be like, oh, why are you making that, Mum? But now you're like, oh my God, where is it? We haven't had it in 9 business days. Like, what's going on?
Growing up, I was like, when my mum would make normal like this, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then when she would make like a roast, like peas,
Oh my God,
potatoes, and like steak, like where we don't eat meat anymore, but like back then I'd be like, this is the best thing ever. We've been together 12 years, right?
Oh, wow.
So we've been together since essentially high school, and I think culturally, there's a lot of expectations for women of color, or like I guess South Asian women, that you should marry or you should date within your culture, because if you don't, they won't understand, they won't get it, they won't be able to, live up to what you should be in your culture, you know what I mean? And I would argue that in my case in particular, like I've actually felt the complete opposite. So I held a lot of internalized, I suppose, shame around my culture growing up because of not feeling safe to embody you know, my culture and my roots and all these kinds of things. And it was actually George that helped me, not consciously, but just by being such a, I think, open-minded and willing to learn human being, that I was able to get to a place where I was like, hey, this is actually something that I should be proud of, not hiding. And his willingness to learn the language and cook the food. I think like multicultural relationships are really beautiful, and it brings the best of like both worlds together. And I think it's a really beautiful thing for, you know, children to grow up in that space where they feel that they can embody who they are and create their own identity and craft their own identity.
So people who are seeing this online and thinking, I'd like to be part of the Brown Girl Collective, how do they get involved?
We are on Instagram mainly. So we're on Instagram. You can just follow the link in our bio. Feel free to DM us if you have any questions. Any questions at all, everything is welcome. And yeah, we're really excited to amp it up this year, bring more people along, you know, grow the community across Australia.
Well, that was delicious. Thanks so much for lunch, and what a great chat.
Thank you so much.